as the process continues, what do you pull forward from the other night from the Islanders game?
Well, I thought one of our strengths of the other night was how much time we spent in the offensive zone. I think it was around 25, 26 minutes. I thought our structure was better. To spend that amount of time in the end zone, we gave ourselves a chance because we also came out together out of our end zone. So we lose the game, but I thought we played well. We played much better than we have. I thought we were more consistent through the game, especially in that aspect as far as offensive zone time.
$1 million question for you has got to be how do you bring that forward, right? How do you carry that consistency?
I don't. They do.
Yeah.
I mean, this game isn't that complicated. It's a matter of a focus. It's a matter of coming back and playing within our system and finding a way. Hey, Peck.
How you doing?
Good, bud. You?
We don't hear or read much about him, but with his championship experience, do you see some characteristics that he brings to your team that you'd like to spread around a little bit?
Well, he can skate. I mean, that's one of his biggest strengths. He's very quiet, really quiet guy. Has been a little inconsistent here, but just his strength on the puck pack, his skating ability. He is one guy that I don't think you beat people one-on-one much in our game anymore. He's one guy that can do that just because of his legs. Played really well the other night. Him, Johansson, and Jenner as a line. And I think he's found his game. He started off really good, struggled through the middle part of these 30-plus games, but I think he's finding himself right now. So just his legs and his strength in the puck is a huge positive for our team.
Do you take any part in, playing a good structured game against the Islanders, or is this team still so inconsistent that you can't let yourself?
No, listen. As a coach, we still lost the game, and so I'm not looking for moral victories. If we keep on looking for moral victories, you're still going to be looking up at 29 other teams. So having said that, you approach your team each day, not always through the result, but how they're playing. And that's why it's important to watch the video before you approach your team the next day. And so it is a constant teaching mode that we're going to be in all year long here as far as trying to turn this into instinctive play, into good habits. Consistent habits. So that is, you guys are going to ask me that question every day. I'm going to give you the same answer. It's every day that we go about this as far as the teaching, because I think that's where our team's at. So every day. And I'm not saying in a negative way. It's going to, no matter if we win, lose, or if we play well, you still got to keep banging away at it because we need to turn it into an instinctive play. And that's going to take some time.
Do you find it's a harder sale when you don't get the result?
Yes, yeah. You want them to hang their hat on something, when we're showing clip after clip and tape and practicing and pushing them along the way. You want them to feel good about themselves and hang their hat on something. And that's, in this game, it's a win. But our group's been, it's good. We had a good meeting today, but it's important. It makes the job easier. Sometimes it's easier to teach your team when you're winning. Everybody thinks you bang at them when you're losing. The best time to get to them is when you're winning. I think they're more receptive. I think you get more accomplished because they feel good about themselves. So, yeah, Mish, we've had, I think now 4 in a row going into these things, the 3-on-3s. We've won one of them. We found ways to lose the other 3. It doesn't help. It just makes it turns it into more of a grind for them where they come in and they feel good that they won the game and they're more receptive. So, absolutely.
What's the challenge been like?
Good.
What's the challenge been like kind of getting back into it and this team and everything that...
Well, the challenge in this situation was when Richie was let go and I came in, we're 0-7. And there was so much scrutiny on that 0-7 because it started right at the beginning of the year, first 7 games. And so you're in a huge hole. teams go into these funks sometimes in going into a losing streak. This happened right away. So for a kind of a new guy with the staff and some new ideas, nothing earth-shattering, because Richie's a really good coach. I guess they wanted a different voice or whatever it may be. You have to try to crawl out of that hole quickly, or you just won't get out of it. But you still have to understand what you have as a team, what they need to work on, and I have a much better understanding of that now. And I think we have quite a process to go through. I know there's been expectations on this club coming in here. I think we have a lot of things that we need to improve, and that's going to have to go through a process. So you go through the process, but you still want to win too, and try to at least get to that even, 500. We're not there, and so that's where it gets a little funky sometimes.
I'm just reading, you see some similarities between what you have right now and what you have in Tampa
Yeah.
early on. What are some of the similarities?
Well, it's a young group, and just understanding just the little nuances of the game, the momentums of games, the preparation of constantly trying to keep it at an even keel when you win a game, not getting too high, or when you lose, don't break yourself up. Just preparation, scheduling. I've talked to our guys. Scheduling is important. Scheduling is important to me. When you take care of those little things and you're on time or you're early and you're ready to go, those little things may seem like nonsense to a lot of people, but those are huge parts of building a foundation of being a winning team. We have a lot of things to do there, and it was very similar in Tampa. There was a lot of stuff going on there in Tampa, as you very well know. And you need to break that, get those habits out of the way, and then start building. Very similar here, at least in my mind.
Corporate Fallow going?
What's that?
Corporate Fallow, in goal.
Is that his last name? Yes.
Why play him tonight? What's the reason behind starting him?
I'm not going to play Mac on both of them, and I want to give, is it Jonas? Jonas. I wanted to give him an opportunity here. Yeah. And we'll see what happens from there.
Do you expect the defense, do you expect the defense to play differently in front of him?
No.
Come in for the NHL debut?
No. I think your defense should always be playing strong in front of a goalie, no matter if he's his first game or he's played 1,000 games. That's part of winning, is playing proper defensively. And so there's no adjustments there. And I thought we defended very well against the Islanders the other night. We've got to stay with it. I know the team's a little bit wounded that's coming in here, but they'll be ready to play, and we've got to be ready for them.
What do you see, John? They can't score, but the defensive numbers are very good. What do you see?
For Tampa? Paul, I don't care about Tampa. And if I had the answer, I wouldn't tell you anyway. I have enough things to worry about with our teams. So I know Tampa is a very well-coached team. It's a team that has won. It got there last year. I don't watch them that closely to really give you a solid answer, because I'm watching my team through the minutes that I have to make sure we're okay. And Paul, we've talked about it the many years I've been with you. It's not about the other team. It's about us. And I've spent all the time working with us. Good to see you.
Same lineup, otherwise, John?
Same lineup otherwise, yes, other than the goal, yes.
John, much has been made or asked. How much have you changed as a coach? And I know you evolve over every place you go, but how much would you say in your mind you've maybe adapted this time around? Or
Well, I don't know. I think some of the perceptions out there of how I do things gets a little crazy sometimes, and you guys really don't know, and you're not supposed to know because you're not in the room. And I think I've done some stupid things, and it kind of grows with you, and you make your own bed with that. But I've really tried to come in here, and it's the most rewarding and the most exciting part for me is the teaching part of it, because I love the teaching of the game. I've tried to pick spots to let them talk with me also. I want them to take over the room. I don't want to be in there as much as I am right now. I didn't think I'd be in there as much as I am right now, but I have to make those adjustments. So that's what I'm trying to get to, is to just calmly go about it, push the athletes as hard as they need to be pushed, but I also want to listen to them too as I'm beginning to get to know them. And if they want me out of there, they need to take control of that room. And so that's the kind of give and take you go through every day with the team. So that's kind of what I'm focusing on.
You mentioned you love teaching, did that in Tampa, how many years back,
Yeah.
Is that something invigorating for you as a coach? A lot more experience as a coach now to go through that kind of thing again, or I'm sure you can draw back on that.
I just, with the teaching, you have interaction. It's good interaction. You get ideas from players. You learn from the players. And sometimes there's conflict, too. And to me, conflict is a good thing. If there's conflict, there's honesty from both parties, from coach and player. But you become closer that way. I like seeing things being built. I like going through the process. And you like to see it. Like, that was the greatest thing in Tampa, not so much winning it in '04. The greatest thing for me was watching the process through those years and watching what the athletes did through that process. I think we're in a very similar situation here, and you can't skip a spot in the process to try to get there quicker. So we got to calmly go about this and do it the right way.
John, you said last game that you liked your time you spent in the offensive zone. So is it now just a matter of getting more and better finish in the offensive zone?
We had some chances, Brian, the other night. Sauter had a couple of chances. Jack Johnson had an open net. Yeah, and every coach wants their team to finish on all their chances, but there's some pretty good goalies in the league too. So, and that goes to the key plays at key times. That gets momentum on your side. We haven't been overly consistent there. I think for the majority of time I've been here, we've had a lot of good offensive zone pressure. Other than the last couple of weeks here, I think we've kind of fluctuated. But you need to make a big play at the key time. And, your big players have to make those key plays, but you also need your secondary guys when it's there to make a big play. You know as well as I do, there's such a fine line of winning in this league right now with the parity. Those big plays are key. Not only scoring a goal, but maybe a big defensive play or a big save that keeps the momentum on your side. That's what helps you to win consistently. So we continue to work at that.
Torts, I'm not going to ask you about the other team, but I did want to follow up on your point about teaching. You had a major impact on Strawman, Boyle, and Callahan. Do you have an appreciation, a feeling of satisfaction when you see guys that you did teach become impactful players in the NHL?
As a coach, you self-evaluate every day. Usually the only way a coach gets evaluated from the outside is you get fired. That's when you get your final evaluation. A coach has to evaluate himself every day, and I do. I am certainly not going to take any credit for those guys because the players play. They're the ones that turn themselves into players. I loved my time with them. With Stralzy, when Stralzy came with us in New York, he was almost out of the league. And I really appreciate him in how he has turned into a competitor. Because I don't think he really, and he's a complete player now. His conversations with me were always, okay, I get the defensive part of it, but I need to bring some offense. And he was always frustrated that he couldn't do them both. I watch him now. I watch him in the playoffs. My God, he has his whole mindset and his confidence. It's changed. So it's not because of me, but I like watching the players that I've had see how they grow, and start feeling that. And Brian, Brian was struggling, and Callie's Callie. Callie is just a guy that you let him go out there and do his thing, and he just drags people into it. So I'll answer it that way. Certainly not taking any credit, but I watch those players all the time and enjoy it. And because you get your hang your hat on and say, I spent a little time with them.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Torts.